You've been praying so hard to heal. You've tried. You've been thinking, when is it be your time to heal? You've listened to the podcast many times, and yet, no results. You still feel it. That thing, that's sitting in your mind, that won't move. That voice in the back of your mind, that says, something is still wrong with you. And so you work harder. You push more. You wake up earlier. Work on yourself longer. Discipline yourself. Because somewhere, someone told you that healing is about hustle. It more than you thought. But what if I told you that very effort is exactly what's keeping you stuck? Stay with me. It's you I wrote this letter to. There was a boy called Precious. He grew up in a house where silence was dangerous, where the wrong tone of voice could set off a storm, where love was conditional on performance and peace was an expectation you had to earn every single day. So Precious became good at controlling things. He controlled his emotions, controlled his words. He grew up, got older, read every self-help guidebook he could find, and he was determined to heal on. He made spreadsheets tracking his moods. He had a 5-step morning routine. He scheduled his grief. He carried his pain with purpose. And on the outside, he looked great, articulate, self-aware, put together. But at night, when the world went quiet, he felt it, still there. And that feeling of being somehow unreachable to himself. One evening, sitting alone, after another successful day of personal growth, he broke down crying. Not dramatically, just quietly, deeply. The kind of crying that comes from somewhere ancient inside you. And in that moment, he wasn't trying to heal. He wasn't analyzing. He wasn't journaling. He wasn't optimizing. He was just feeling. And for the first time in years, something in him began to loosen. Here's what nobody think about. Healing is not a project. It's not a checklist. It's not a discipline. It's not something you can force into a schedule. Between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. before work, you live in a world that rewards output. That tells you every moment of pain is a problem to be solved. That sitting in darkness is weakness. That if you're still hurting after all this time, you're just not trying hard enough. So you overcorrect. You consume content about healing, while never sitting still long enough to actually feel anything. You journal to sound wise to yourself, instead of journaling to actually meet yourself. Use meditation as a way to escape your thoughts, instead of being present with them. Turn healing into another performance, and you wonder why you feel like frauds, even inside your own recovery. The truth is brutal and beautiful at the same time. You cannot think your way out of pain you never let yourself feel. The body keeps score. The nervous system remembers what the mind tries to skip. And when you keep forcing yourself forward, pushing, optimizing, grinding toward wholeness, your nervous system reads that as, this is still not safe enough to let go. Healing doesn't happen in motion. It happens in permission. Permission to be unfinished. Permission to feel ugly, confusing, contradictory emotions without immediately reaching for a solution. Permission to sit in the mess without making the mess mean something is wrong with you. So, what do you actually do? You stop performing healing, and you start inhabiting it. You stop asking why. You are still not over this. Does this pain actually need from you right now? I have think that way before. Because here's the thing about grief, about trauma, about the deep ache that lives inside people who have survived hard things. It doesn't want to be fixed. It wants to be witnessed. That part of you that still hurts, it's not broken. It's been waiting for you to slow down long enough to look at it, not to analyze it, not to reframe it, just to see it, because it's a lesson to you. When Precious stopped scheduling his healing, when he stopped performing self-awareness and started actually sitting with himself, the raw unedited version, things changed. Not overnight, not dramatically, but slowly. The weight began to shift. Not because he did more, because he finally stopped doing so much. He let himself be sad without explaining why. He let himself feel rage without immediately spiritualizing it. He let himself feel nothing without assuming that meant he was numb. He stopped being a student of his pain and became present to it. And that presence, that was the medicine. That was always the medicine. I want to speak to you directly right now. If you've been trying to heal for a long time and you still feel like you're still stuck, I need you to hear this. You are not failing at healing. You are exhausted from forcing it. There is nothing wrong with you. The fact that you still feel it, blood is still running in your vein, means you are still human. It means you haven't gone numb. It means there is still something alive in you that cares enough to hurt. That is not a flaw. That is your humanity. But you have to stop treating yourself like a problem you need to solve. You don't need a better system. You don't need a harder routine. You need compassion. Radical, unconditional, patient compassion for the version of you that is still figuring this out. Stop rushing to the next stage of your healing. Stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline. Stop punishing yourself every time you feel what you told yourself you were done feeling. That's not giving up. That's the bravest thing you can do. Healing is not a destination you arrive at and unpack your bags. It is something that happens in the quiet moments between your trying, in the tears you stop holding back, in the days you give yourself grace instead of another goal, in the breath you finally let out all the way. The wound does not heal because you forced it. It heals because you stop picking at it and let life, slow, imperfect, unglamorous life, do what it was always designed to do. So if you're tired, good. Let yourself be tired, not as a failure, but as the first honest thing you've allowed yourself to feel in a long time. You don't have to force this anymore. And if this letter by Rashid heals you and touched your heart, subscribe to more letters like this. Like and comment. You are allowed to heal the way rivers move. Not always fast, not always straight, but always finding their way out. Take care of yourself.